So, did you hear the Prop for the Rapper is gonna be in Smash 4?
No, I didn't. I'm more interested in
Are
Urban, actually.
are you sure? I'll link you to
Yeah.
the. Well, no, you actually have the reveal trailer for Prop for the Rapper.
Yeah, I should watch that right now, shouldn't I?
Yeah. Um, go right ahead. Say your
Okay.
reactions.
Oh man, this is off screen too. This is a legitimate trailer.
Yeah.
Ooh. Uh, uh. I think the acid kicked in for DDD. Wow. Fox is headless. Meta Knight, Meta Knight is electricity.
To explain what he's watching the video of the glitched copy of Super Smash Bros. 4 for Wii U.
Okay, time to look at these images.
Yes, there was this guy, I believe his name is like it's
T-Man.
T-Man, yes. He posted a bunch of pictures on Miiverse and it
Oh
was all
no. Oh no,
yeah.
Duck Hunt Dog. No.
Yes. It's
Duck Hunt
so
Dog looks
bad.
like Duck Hunt Dog looks like Snoopy's Western uncle.
There's one of Zero Suit Samus where she's like bone thin. It looks just so gross.
Oh.
Yeah.
I found it.
Yep. Yep.
Uh oh, Mega Man, no. The corruption has gotten to him. Oh god, Yoshi's even worse. It's like actually Yoshi looks like one of the enemies from Yoshi's Story. Like the Blarg from
Yes.
Yoshi's Story. Oh god, this is awful. This is
I hope
awful.
he gets some reimbursement for that.
Why? Why should he get reimbursement? This game is so 10 out of 10. It's 11 out of 100.
Yeah. So what do you think?
Oh.
Prop of the Rapper confirmed?
Yeah, I can't wait for oh yeah, there's Vib
Mm.
Looks like she's replacing Little Mac. I can't wait for I can't wait for Old Peach to become a playable character as well. One of the pictures is like Peach with half of her hair just monochrome or monotone. I don't know what the proper word.
I think Paper Mario is also in there.
Actually, no, Yoshi looks a bit more. Yeah, Yoshi. Okay, I have to link this specific picture to Quill. I have to show this picture to Quill because I have to I how do I permalink this image? I can't seem to do it.
Oh.
Uh, Here we go.
By the way,
Open.
neither of us started our timer.
Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah, we have
Hold
our
on.
waveforms.
Yeah. Yoshi's Story Larg. Yeah, alright. Okay, cool. So, I can't get the zoomed in image, but this is one of the images of Yoshi. And this is what Blarg looks like in Yoshi's story. Looks pretty similar.
Jesus Christ, yes. Holy
Thank you.
crap.
Thank you for showing that to me.
Oh, no, it's no
Uh,
problem.
I'm actually more terrified in the Duck Hunt dog one, because his face is just
His face.
flattened, so it looks like Snoopy fucked Droopy Dog.
Ugh, gross.
It looks horrid. This all looks awful, but I kind of wish I had this guy's copy.
Just so you can see it firsthand.
Ah, dude, Flat Zone Fox. I think Fox looks more like a douchebag when he's flat. Oh, Palutena has no face. Or,
Fire! Fire!
all right. Anyways, we should probably get going with the podcast. I should stop looking at this. Welcome to Titlecard. Today is November 26th, 2014. And we're doing this a day early because tomorrow is Thanksgiving.
Yes, I for one won't be traveling that much because my family's already had Thanksgiving. We had it back last Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
But I may go visit some relatives.
Yeah, I'm staying here at home mostly because my family, my sister and her husband and her daughter visited, or are visiting rather. So I have them to not deal with. I don't know what I can't tell what the proper choice of words is for stuff anymore. I'm like,
I've noticed. You're just so flabbergasted that Dunkirk
yeah,
is gonna haunt your dreams now.
no, I'm more concerned about fucking Twitch-faced DDD. Twitch-faced DDD seems to be that is like a one in a million thing. Like you have to have the absolute worst luck to get something like that.
And he did. He got it.
Yeah, he got it, and I'm sure he doesn't mind because it makes for good internet.
Oh yeah, he's like the face of the internet right now.
You should play online. See if the same effect happens.
Oh my god.
Online. That would be great. Anyways, so today we're going to kind of focus more on the games we played over the past week, and then we're going to travel on to news, and we're going to also discuss something that we forgot to discuss last week, which is YouTube channels that we've been watching and that we should recommend to you.
Mm-hmm. I think you should start with your games first because there's two of them I can just throw my hat in.
Yeah, well, yeah, yeah, okay. So, so starting off with games, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire released the day after we did the first episode, as we joked about in the introduction. And
we
what
both
are your
got
thoughts?
we both got opposite copies. I got Alpha Sapphire. He got Omega Ruby.
Yeah, Zoe got Alpha Sapphire as well.
Yes.
So as most of you are knowing, or have known, Zoe and I are doing a Nuzlocke together, and we fight after every gym. I got this idea from the D-pad, which I'll talk about later, but it's basically a rival lock where we progress, and after every gym we fight, and that's really all you need to know about it. So far she's lost 3 Pokemon, and I've only lost 1, so I have that going for me, except that I have 4 failed catches. So I'm kind of, yeah. Anyways,
and you've also had 1 lost online battle.
No, but she actually got a really good Pokemon recently. She got a Meryl. So after she evolved that into an Azumarill, I was I can't get past that. Because I don't get grass types until like the 5th gym.
Electric? Have you already tried to go for him?
Well, the thing is that in Slateport, when you first get introduced to contests,
yes.
and you win your
yeah,
first
you get
contest,
the contest
you get
Pikachu. That's right.
Yeah, so I have a contest Pikachu, and I didn't train because it was like, okay, I can basically just ride completely through the gym, and then I can battle her. I don't really care much about the battling. I just care about progressing and everything. I care about being able to survive. But her level 26 Azumarill just easily dispatched my level 20 Rocker Pikachu. So, it was all downhill from there. But
yeah.
Azumarill does not fuck around. That thing is a goddamn tank.
Yeah, it's a really good tank if you know.
Which explains why in Super Training, whenever you get an HP bag, it's always like, oh yeah, look, Azumarill. That's not foreboding at all.
I've been playing the game way too much. I'm already past Winona at this point. I have almost my full team.
We have a friend actually, Jay. He beat it in like 2 days.
Well, yeah, isn't he doing the review for it?
No, I think that's Connor.
Oh, well, what the hell?
Connor also does a lot of visual novel stuff. Yeah. And Connor is doing a lot more than we are.
Yeah, I blame school for that.
I blame the fact that I just haven't been able to sit through Valkyria Chronicles after a flying pig joined an army. I was like, I don't know. I don't know how I'm supposed to feel about this, but go on.
For any of you curious, my team right now is Sceptile, Swallow, Midnight Trick that will be soon replaced with a Starmie, Glalie, Camerot, and can't remember the last one.
Glalie isn't the one that you got from
the demo.
It's the
same exact one you got from the demo.
Hmm.
Let's see. So it's Glalie, Sceptile, Swallow, Camerupt.
I got I
I
got
do
the
have Natang on my team, but I thought I was gonna replace him, but I'm still not sure about that.
I got the I have Combuskin, Pikachu, Dustox, Nincada, and what's the other one? I can't remember the other one is Swallow.
Swallow, yeah. And
I'm saving
you
the
got a really good Swallow because we both got Swallows with rare moves. I got Sky Attack and he got
Boom Burst.
Boom Burst. That's right.
Boom Burst, for those of you who don't know what that is, it's basically a one-turn use, so you can keep chaining it, and it's a full area of effect move. So any Pokemon besides the user is damaged with it, and it does 140 damage. It's one of the strongest normal type moves in the game, I think.
And you lucked out for a Nuzlocke to have that.
Yeah. Although that quickly leveled out when I got Avalon, a Zigzagoon who had Tackle replaced with Charm, but Avalon died very quickly. That's the only loss I have, is because the one Pokemon that died couldn't fucking attack.
I saw that.
Yeah, it was horrible. But yeah, I'm at the third gym. I beat the third gym in like maybe 20-30 minutes because I forgot that fighting type is super effective against steel. So basically I roundhouse kicked the shit out of the gym leader's Magneton.
He only had one Magneton in this version. Like
he has one Magneton
Emerald...
and a Magnemite.
Yeah, in Emerald, Sapphire, and Ruby, the originals, he had 2 Magnetons.
The thing is like, Zoe knows this as well, but the leveling seems a bit more leveled, like a bit more.
I think that's because of the XP. Well, for me, that's the XP share because like my team's already like level 40s.
I'm not allowed to use the experience share.
Yeah, you guys aren't using the XP share, but I noticed
it
probably because of that.
But Zoe notices as well with the Dewford gym battle with Brawly. She noticed that the gym, like the strongest Pokemon on his team, was only like 17 when it's usually 19, like in the originals. So
yeah, probably.
And I'm pretty sure. The third gym, the Pokemon were, or at least like at level 23, but it was like level 21 and 23. So it seems a bit more balanced than it usually is. So yeah, that's all I've been doing in Omega Ruby. I think I've been doing well. I'm not exactly going for battling against Zoe right now. I'm focusing more on just surviving, and then hopefully I do good in battles.
Yeah, you should be fine.
Yeah, I mean, I almost took out your team pretty quickly.
Yeah, you gave me a run for my money. Had it not been for the Wi-Fi,
I forgot. I keep forgetting that Beldum is part psychic.
Part steel. Yeah, if you would have used Ember, you would have done me in.
Yeah.
But you forgot.
Yeah, and even then, double kick only did like normal damage. I
think the Beldum also has like an increased defense because that didn't do a lot.
Beldum has pretty high defense. Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy how much.
Special defense, I think.
Well, no, but double kick was a physical move.
Yeah.
So it must have been defense. It must have come with a steel type. Anyway, moving on.
Yes. The other game is related to one of the news that we're bringing up. I've been playing a bit of Sega Bass Fishing. Okay, so Sega Bass Fishing. For those of you who don't know what that is, it was originally an arcade game where you would stand on this platform and you had a fishing rod, and basically you would just go around singular levels and catch fish. And you would be able to like move around the rod like left. It was basically kind of like motion controlled. I saw that, by the way. And it's basically just a very fun arcadey game. Like it still holds up to this day. And
I personally never played it, so
It's pretty good. I mean, you should play it from my account.
Oh yeah.
You can use an Xbox controller with it.
Yeah, I've got my Logitech gamepad,
Mm.
so
Yeah. Either way, it's sorry.
nah, it's fine.
Either way, it's pretty fun. And the other game I played from the Dreamcast collection was Space Channel 5, but I don't need to explain that game.
No.
That game explains itself pretty well. Okay, moving on. It's a game that both of us have been playing.
Yep, Risk of Rain.
Yeah. So, Risk of Rain is a side-scrolling shooter, roguelite, RPG survival game.
Yep.
It's basically the whole gist of the game is that the longer you survive, the harder it gets. And we tried playing it for Lukewarm, or we're
Yes,
trying
but
to, but
yeah,
it keeps
we were.
crashing.
Yeah, it keeps crashing on me, and I'm the one that has to record it. So.
Yeah. The funny thing is that Risk of Rain is one of the few games I've seen where the multiplayer experience doesn't change the single player experience.
No, it doesn't change in one bit. It still makes it like difficult.
Yeah. So I'd say that's really good in my books. And I don't know. Once we figure out what's going on with the fatal errors and everything, we'll get that recording. You know what, Quill? A week from now, when we look back on this spreadsheet,
what the fuck I did?
yeah,
we might start linking them in the descriptions. Depends on what I do.
the spreadsheet. Why?
Yeah. I don't know. Just see how it's laid out. See the inside joke that's happening now.
Just take a screen cap of it.
I'll do that later.
Yeah.
Just
okay.
tweet it.
Moving on.
You have one more game, right?
Yeah. So I have a pizza shop about 3 or 4 minutes away from my house that I drive to, and they have a Ms. Pac-Man cabinet that was actually broken for a little while, but they got it fixed recently. And I was shocked to see that one of the high scores on the board was 3,280 points. So I played it with Greg, my brother-in-law, and he went to go get pizza, and he never came back. So I wound up having to play by myself, 2-player versus mode.
Mm-hmm.
His side got like 27,000 points, but my side got hold on, let me actually bring the picture up. It's on Twitter, but I have it on my phone. I got something along the lines of like 58,000 points, and I had not played the game in like months. So I consider that.
Well, Pac-Man's one of those games you can just easily pick up and play. It's not like a game that's.
It's a game that's easy to play but difficult to master.
52,620.
57,000.
Yes.
Yeah. That was the first game that I played. So I basically, I think I beat the original high score 19 times over, which is good. I'd say that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. But that's my favorite thing about the pizza place is that they have a Ms. Pac-Man cabinet.
Yeah, our bowling alley down where I live has a cabinet that has like a mixture of games. It has like Donkey Kong, Pac-Man, Galaga,
Ooh.
Centipede.
Oh, they have one of them. They have one of the multiple arcade cabinets.
Yeah, the collection cabinets. It was good. It was fun.
Oh man, those things are like a trip. Those are the greatest things.
We also played Alien versus Predator cabinet.
The rich. Oh man, like
Yeah.
the rail shooter.
The rail shooter. Yes.
That
No, not the rail shooter. The beat 'em up.
wait,
There's
a
a beat 'em up where you can play as like Arnold Schwarzenegger's character.
That
and
one.
Alien, and yeah. They're not on my list because I played these like 2 weeks ago. But
Oh yeah. Man, I love arcades. They're a dying breed, but they're my favorite things.
yeah,
The thing is that Quill knows about this. My current ambition to make just a giant collection of games. I'm trying to make a giant collection of home ports of arcade games and try to like emulate the original arcade style at home. So I actually have a couple of arcade games. I have the Wii ports like Ghost Squad and House of the Dead 2 and 3 Return. But I have the lesser known ones on the PlayStation 2 like Silent Scope. Uh, and I'm planning on picking up the Time Crisis games eventually too.
Yeah, that's good.
But I love the arcades. The arcades were the birthplace of just revolutionary gaming. Like that's kind of where we saw the huge turn in video games from like good to amazing.
Yes.
It's where we saw games like Strider form into like these really popular games, and where we saw rail shooters get an uprise and fucking goddamn DDR.
Oh my god.
It's like that arcades are the birthplace of gaming. And I know that a lot of people when they look at their games right now and they're like, these graphics aren't too bad on this PlayStation 4. Remember that when I was growing up and when Quill was also growing up as well, we grew up like around the turn that 3D graphics were just becoming a revolutionary thing.
Yes,
And
I still remember like growing up in my
yeah,
like room playing Super Mario World
yeah.
when I was like 4.
I grew up playing Yoshi's Island, which is like the turn of 3D implementation into gaming, and it
Yeah,
was it was a very revolutionary thing to realize that games like Sega Bass Fishing and Time Crisis and these games where the graphics looked revolutionary were phenomenal at the time. So you got to give games like that respect that they deserve
hmm
because if it weren't for arcade games like that pushing the boundaries of 3D gaming and forcing home consoles to do so, then we wouldn't have the games that we have today.
yep.
And that would be a damn shame because a lot of the games that we play today create the community for
This
better or worse.
goes back to what you were saying about how we feel about graphics. Look back at Super Mario 64, the original. Look back at that and tell me that it's not dated from now. But if you grew up and you first saw that, you'd think that was probably the best looking game out there.
Yeah, and the same thing goes for Ocarina of Time. Like
Yes. Ugh.
I dislike Ocarina of Time because it hasn't aged well at all, and the community like defends it
Doesn't see it,
like the
yeah.
greatest thing. Yeah, and I mean they can see it because speedrunners have broken that game back and forth and then back again.
Yes, but dated will not like stuff that's in right now can be broken. I mean, like
Sonic Boom.
yes. And like
Uh,
most AAAs now, like
yeah,
Unity
yeah.
can be broken to
We'll
shit.
talk about that. We'll talk about that later.
Yep.
But I respect Ocarina of Time for putting a 3D adventure game into its own space and kind of making it in a well sought after dynamic of gaming. Because after Ocarina of Time became a huge success, and later Majora's Mask became a bit of a cult classic, we started seeing more 3D adventure games like Jack and Daxter, like 3 or 4 years later, and a lot of other games. Metal Gear Solid, I think, was around the time of Ocarina of Time. So basically, a lot of these games that you see now that look dated as all hell, and you can't wait for the remaster. Just remember that sometimes a remaster should not exist because sometimes the original format of a game should be just left alone if it can't be improved upon.
Indeed.
And the thing is, with Ocarina of Time, you can't really improve upon that because the only thing you really can do is make it look pretty and maybe give it a bit of a audio upgrade, which they didn't. But with games like Super Mario 64 DS, they had a lot of open ground to work with. So they added 30 more stars, a bunch of new gameplay dynamics, 3 new playable characters, some new stages, and they just pushed the original game to its limits of creativity. And that is what I respect the most, is when a game actually gets remade and it's for the better and not just a money making cash cow.
Yeah, I would agree with
Uh, man, I love 3D gaming.
that. Transitioning from a character that got their start on the arcade, I played Pac-Man Party for the Wii.
Pac-Man Party. I'm not familiar with that game actually.
This is the easy rules of Fortune Street. It really is.
Oh, oh,
It
ugh,
okay.
ugh.
No. Well,
Okay, let's talk about this a
let
little
me
bit.
explain. Let me explain. Okay.
Okay.
You can play as Pac-Man, the Four Ghosts, and 3 new characters. Roger, Patra, and Woofa. Woofa's a
Lupa.
Yeti, Roger's a robot, and Patra is a Egyptian cat.
Very creative names.
And the boards on Pac-Man Party, it's laid out similar to Mario Party meets Easy Rules of Fortune Street. The
Oh,
boards
boy.
are not very creative. They're all the same box layout, except 2 different boards are smaller and bigger respectively.
Yeah, okay.
And when you play the game, you have a goal of like a certain currency that you have to make, similar to Fortune Street.
Mm-hmm.
And the way you do that is you start your turn by playing a small micro game that selects how far you go on the board. How many spaces.
So it's not Mario Party, it's Wii Party.
No, it's Wii Party.
Okay.
But it's a micro game. It's something like along the lines of something you'd see on Price is Right, like a pachinko machine or something like that.
Amazing. Amazing
But,
concept.
After everyone's gone, everyone gets these castles, and they can expand by owning the adjacent squares. I think the largest I've seen is a level 5 castle, and that's 5 of your own castles in one line.
That's pretty good.
And if someone lands on your castle, you play a minigame to defend it. So minigames are not played on every turn. If you win while you're defending, you get cookies based on the size of your castle, and cookies are the currency, and you have to meet that goal to win the game. And
I'm trying my hardest not to laugh right now.
It's a silly game, but it's fun when you play it. It's fun. The single player is not that good though. It's more of a duel based single player. Like you just play one person on a board. It's
one of the games I wanted to pick up actually recently was Namco Museum Megamix.
Oh yeah.
Which is like a 20-in-1 game. It comes with like 12 or 14 Namco arcade games in their original form, and 6 brand new remaster versions of the game that use like motion controls and shit. But I don't care about the 6 games because you got goddamn motherfucking Dig Dug and Ms. Pac-Man and shit on there, and I grew up with like those kinds of games, especially. So
yeah, I had access to those games thanks to Pac-Man World 2.
Oh yeah. Pac-Man World 2 was a good game.
It was a really good game. I played that a lot growing up. But back on Pac-Man Party, every minigame in a board is it's kind of unoriginal based on like how you win. Like most of them are either score the highest to win or do another like thing. But they changed the dynamics by adding these things called power pellets or power cookies, excuse me. And when you activate them in a minigame, they give you an edge. And some of them are broken as hell. There is one minigame where you're on a castle wall, but there's cannons. And you have to pick the right cannon and pick the right path to get to the top of the castle. Well, if you use a power pellet, the first cannon you go in takes you to the top, no matter what. So
because clearly when you think balance, Pac-Man Party.
Yeah.
Clearly on the top of that list.
But it's a fun game, like a fun party game. I would recommend it if you just want something to goof around on.
Yeah.
Back on party games, I played Fortune Street. One board, I played it earlier today.
Yeah.
I played on Alfgard, just trying to like complete my standard rules tour, and I forgot how quickly things can change in that game.
Yeah,
Because
I actually played around Fortune Street with my family, and I think I talked about this earlier, like a couple of months ago, with you, but my brother-in-law had the genius idea to set the win amount to 30,000.
oh god.
So it was literally 5 hours of trying to get past it, and then it was like 10 p.m. at the time, and I was like done. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna give this to my dad. And my dad is surprisingly good at Fortune Street, like without even knowing how to play the game. He won. He won, even though I was in like third place.
Wow. But
So he's really good at that game.
yeah, that's crazy. I had like my main focus on that island. You know how Titlecard is. It has like just one island with like 5 different shops on it.
Yeah,
That's
I actually don't.
That's its own district.
I actually don't. Is that one of the
It's one of the ones
unlockable?
you play through tour.
Yeah, you have to unlock it first.
Yes.
I have never played any of the unlocked or any of the locked boards.
Like most of theirs are pretty good. You need to do that.
Well, I mean, my sister has only one unlocked because they don't like playing tour mode.
Oh.
But
Oh right, you don't own your own copy.
yeah, I
that's
don't own a
right.
copy. Yeah.
But yeah, there's one of the unlocked boards. It's named Alfgard, based on Dragon Quest, and it has an island with that's its own district. And I've focused like 200 stocks into that district, and Birdo had the ineptitude to steal the highest priced shop before I could buy it. And I was
Birdos.
mad. I was mad, and she had to like sell all her shops. So I'm like, hell, I'm gonna take that district. And the district that she bailed out of got me to win the game.
Yeah.
Because
Games-
I was like smart enough to, well, I was lucky enough to put 99 stock in that district earlier on, so I was able to expand really quickly.
My mom actually apologized to me after whooping my ass in Fortune Street because she keeps forgetting that the game automatically defaults the purchase button to no.
Mhm.
So whenever you're on a shop that you can buy,
Oh,
you-
she buys you out, yeah.
yeah, she bought out one of my strongest buildings and like destroyed my district,
Oh
and I
my
kept
God.
landing on that building. So I got bankrupted in 3 turns.
Holy crap.
I
That
got
sucks.
just destroyed.
Yeah, that really sucks. That's how Fortune Street can really go.
Yeah. Fortune Street is basically like Monopoly on crack cocaine after taking LSD and fucking a dolphin that's doing acid. It's just
Yes.
the weirdest shit you can even explain, and you can't explain it without at least swearing a few dozen times.
Yeah, if you want to play the S-rank characters, you have to know how they play the vacant plots in it.
Yeah.
As soon as you learn that, whenever you play vacant plots, you will win if you are the only one that knows that trick.
The thing is that you can basically go through the entire tour mode just playing on idle. Just set the game to
Yeah, out for lunch.
lunch.
That's what I did to unlock all the boards. I just set it
Yeah.
out for lunch.
My
'cause I didn't feel
sister
like
my
playing.
sister outright rejects doing that though. She says she wants to get everything legitimately, and I'm like,
And yet she doesn't want to do
Yeah.
it.
yeah. It's like just if you want the extra 11 other boards because you're only playing like half the game, then just
No, you're playing 2/3 of it.
oh yeah, right, 18 boards. Sorry.
Yep.
But yeah, it's just weird.
Yeah, it really is. Another game I played, Kirby's Epic Yarn. I didn't play much of that. I played it earlier today, just when I was on a
I love that
weekend.
game.
It's really good.
It's good in its own way. It's like not a very good Kirby game, but as like a game that if you just have like the shittiest day ever, like you forgot to close the sunroof in your car after just a giant torrential rainstorm,
Oh yeah.
then you just go home and it's like, man, fuck my life, and then you play it and you're like, everything's okay.
Yeah, Okami was like that for me for a little bit of time.
Okami is one of those distraction games though.
Yes.
And not to mention Okami does make you feel pretty terrible sometimes too.
Oh yeah, the story. Ugh.
The story is morbid.
Yeah, it's dark. Very.
Yeah, it's
very
like,
dark.
oh hey, look, that one person that you helped to get through the cursed ship, oh, she's now a pile of bones.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I'm supposed to feel about this. Moving on. Oh, I can swim through lava. Cool. Moving on.
Moving on to just some things I've played with some friends recently. Mario Party 3, Pokemon Stadium 2, and GoldenEye. I'll start with Mario Party. Mario Party 3, we played 2 boards. We're working on our third one, but we do it at school on a ROM. And we have, we hook up the computers in a computer lab because our class is so easy, we barely have to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
So we just, hook up 4 keyboards and just play. We all lost the first board to the computer player.
Yep.
It was me and 2 other of my friends. We lost to the computer player because my friend decided to steal my star, not knowing that the computer player was gonna take the lead.
Mm-hmm.
And the second board, Chance Time fucked me over. I had to give all my stars to the guy in last place, so the guy that was in third place won.
That sounds eerily familiar.
Yeah!
That one time.
Yeah! Don't you know?
Yeah.
It was on the same fucking board, too!
Oh my god.
It was on Deep Blooper Sea!
Oh my god, that is phenomenal.
It would have sucked if I was playing Wario, but now I was playing Luigi, because everyone likes Luigi.
But attacker was Luigi, so reversed roles.
The guy I gave the stars to was Yoshi, so fuck off. Pokemon
we
Stadium.
need to figure out how to play Mario Party 3 sometime.
Yes, I really want to play that again. But Pokemon Stadium 2. Me and my friends, we decided to do randomized Pokemon. I think my team was a mixture of all flying types.
You play this on an emulator?
Yes.
Pokemon Stadium 2 is I have history with Pokemon Stadium 2 on emulators. It's not exactly the best game to have
because
on emulation.
And when you try to do it with half 2/3 of the keyboard already taken, you have to find some weird routes for the digital buttons. It's weird.
Well, it's more that Pokemon Stadium 2 just doesn't have proper coding for the emulator. It has a lot of graphical errors.
Yeah, we noticed that, but we got through it. I lost valiantly. You know what? In the randomized, one person got a Zapdos. I got an Articuno. So I took down his Zapdos. That was the only Pokemon I killed, and I felt proud for it.
Yay!
But it was a 2v1, so they kind of worked against me.
Yeah, I don't think we need to explain the last game. I think everybody knows what GoldenEye is.
Yeah, GoldenEye for the N64. We just played a couple maps on that. That was fun.
Yeah.
Replaying that was pretty
GoldenEye is one of the few games where it's whenever you feel like playing it, you play it for a little bit and you're like, oh yeah, this was actually fun 10 years ago, but the dating of the controls is not exactly fun anymore.
Nah, and then the reboots I haven't heard much of since they released.
Besides, the reason why GoldenEye is such a weird game to enjoy is because you have that one jackass friend who always goes odd job on Slappers Only.
You know what? I was lucky enough to have my friends that were inexperienced with the game, so I was able to tell them, don't pick odd job, he's broken. And they believed me. They didn't understand it, but they believed me.
Odd Job is broken though because he's just short enough to.
No, they believed it he's broken in the ROM, he's unplayable in the ROM.
Oh.
But I was like, yeah, don't play as him, and they believed me.
You're a goddamn genius.
And
I couldn't get away with that shit.
I got away with it because neither of them had played GoldenEye, but they played first-person shooters.
Yeah. And they probably weren't very used to the tank controls either.
Oh, no. But it was fun. I was used to it. So I was able to shoot them with rockets a couple times.
Is it weird that I prefer The World Is Not Enough to GoldenEye?
I played that.
Like the game.
Yeah. No,
I think the game is
it's not weird, but yeah, it's pretty good. What was the N64 one? Not the rail shooter, but the other one.
What do you mean?
There was one where you had to drive a car.
That was The World Is Not Enough, I think.
No, that's the N64 one.
Oh, you must be thinking Agent on Fire.
Yes, that is.
That was on the GameCube though.
Yes, that was the one I was talking about. That was the one I was thinking of. That was a fun multiplayer game.
That was actually my first major shooter that my mom disliked. Because that was my first shooter on a console that I played,
I
and
think
I still wasn't very acclimated to shooters. So when I first did the level with the golden gun, my mom was just like, I don't know if I like you playing this game.
and then you played first-person shooters for like half your life.
Yeah, yeah. My little did my mom know is that a couple of years after that, I would be playing Halo 3 with my cousin,
Yeah. But I believe the
and
first
that I had played
shooter
Halo
I
2
played
before.
was Sarge's Army Heroes.
Yeah, Army Men
Army Men. Sarge's Heroes.
on the
Yes.
N64, the actual like third-person shooter.
Yes.
That is my favorite.
That is
Okay,
fun.
okay. I actually I actually love
This is
talking
the
about
reminiscing. This is the reminiscing podcast.
Yeah, I actually love the Army Men games, especially that one. Like
Yes.
not the helicopter one, but this one in particular is like my favorite because it's surprisingly a good shooter.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't like it's more playable than Body Harvest, which is an N64 game where you go around and kill a bunch of ants and shit. I couldn't play that game because I just didn't get it, but this one is like playable because you have a goal and the story is tangible at the very least.
Yes.
But yeah, I love that. I love that game.
Moving on to news. The first piece of news: the Normal Boots visual novel dating sim Asiago Academy has gotten funded. And
Asago.
it's
Asagao.
whatever.
I don't know how it's actually called, but I think it's Asagao.
Whatever. It's getting funded and it's
Yeah.
being made.
Yeah. I feel absolutely happy for the developers of that game, especially the writers, because I've seen some of the writing for that game. It's really good. I think that game is going to be probably one of the more successful crossover VNs.
Yeah.
Because what was the other one that came out like a few years ago that nobody liked? That was like a VN for video game characters.
What do you mean?
I can't remember. Anyways, but yeah, it looks like an actual like tangible VN in its own way. So I'm kind of glad it got funded because that means that we'll have a good VN that isn't about anime porn on Steam. I found out Connor actually recently posted on Twitter that he might pick up Sakura Spirit. I think he said he picked up Sakura Spirit, and I'm like, you are going to have a fun time. Because playing Sakura Spirit for the first time is like playing Leisure Suit Larry for the first time without knowing anything prior. You know what to expect, but the way that it's interpreted is beyond reason. So yeah, that's gonna be good.
Yeah. I don't know if I'll play it because dating sims don't really interest me. Just like scary games don't really interest me.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I'm not gonna buy it either, but I think it'll make fun times.
Yeah,
I wonder if
it'll definitely like
who's
make
who's
interesting
the who's the mind cracker who does the who's doing that one virtual novel, like the really pornographic one. I think
it was
is that
Milby.
Milby?
It was
Yeah.
Milby.
I wonder if Milby will do this one.
He probably will.
I mean, I don't see why not. It's tame. It won't get him
If
banned
not
on YouTube.
Milby, it'll be paused.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Or Beef.
I don't know if Beef knows the Normal Boots people.
Probably not. I don't know. Either way, it looks like it'll be a fun time.
Yep.
Just like the other game on our list, Tales from the Borderlands.
Transitions.
Yeah. Tales from the Borderlands, the first episode is out. Tales from the Borderlands, for those of you who don't know, is the crossover game from Telltale Games that is set in the world of Gearbox Software's Borderlands. The best way to explain it is apparently really good. From what I've heard, it's apparently a really good game, and it tackles its own storyline. Yeah, I've heard it's pretty good. But there's actually a picture There's actually a picture that somebody posted on the gaming subreddit from Tales from the Borderlands, and it was like some guy's personal information, and it said that his death was by stabbing, and that his last words were, "What are you gonna do? Stab me?" So I think that game's gonna be all right because it still has the tongue-in-cheek writing style of Borderlands, with the interpretive gameplay of Telltale. So that should be good.
Yep. Tales from the Borderlands, Episode 1, Zero Sum from Metacritic got an 85.
That's pretty good.
IGN, I'm trying to look right now.
IGN is the most dependable one because they keep making jokes about too much water.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so for those of you who... I talked about this last week as well. IGN has kind of been making fun of its own meme that it created with the too much water thing, and it's fantastic. The review for Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire got a negative note for having too much water. And they made a joke about San Francisco having too much water on their Twitter. And then, sure enough, one of their games that they reviewed, the Penguins of Madagascar, got like a decent review as well. And one of the positives was just the right amount of water. I think that's fantastic.
When all that was going on, I was going to make a comment about like some of the new songs that were coming out recently, like Waves, Riptide. I can't think of anything else, but I was going to be like, the society has too much water.
Yeah. Hey, Quill, you notice how on Audacity all these waveforms are constantly moving around and fluctuating so much?
Yeah.
I think there's too much water in our audio.
We need to get that filtered out.
Son of a bitch. Get the goddamn Brita out.
Our reviews are going to tank because of it.
Ah, shit.
This is your fault.
I'm sorry. I've been playing way too much Wave Race.
Moving on. I don't know what to say about that.
I'm sorry.
That's fine. Caught me off guard with it.
Wave Race Blue Storm is an awesome game, but goddamn, is it
The
hard.
original Wave Race was pretty good.
Yeah, well, I mean, both of them are really revolutionary because they had realistic water physics, which was really hard to do, especially in that era.
Moving on.
So yeah.
To Ubisoft putting Assassin's Creed Unity DLC for free and giving...
All right, I can explain this a little bit
go right
better. So Ubisoft, I think Yves Guillemot recently announced that anybody who bought Assassin's Creed Unity deserves an apology, and that they will be receiving the first DLC to release on for Unity for free, and anybody who bought the Season Pass or the Gold Edition of the game will get a free game that ranges from Rayman Legends to Far Cry 4 to The Crew. And they've also halted sales of the Season Pass. So apparently we might be experiencing Ubisoft's very first Total Recall. It seems like they're heading in that direction. Like apparently, like it seems like they agree that this game just absolutely wasn't ready to come out. And I gotta respect them for that, but at the same time, I really have to question their sales mantra. If it's like, okay, we fucked up, but here, have a free game that's also pretty fucked up. And I'm hinting at The Crew. The Crew is pretty... The beta for The Crew I took with a grain of salt, because I was like, at least this will get ironed out later. And sure enough, 2 months later, still in open beta. And I'm like, how... is this game really that broken? I mean, I played it, and it wasn't that bad. But apparently, it was that bad. So... I don't know what Ubisoft is doing, really. Like, they've started having this really weird business dynamic that I don't agree with.
Yeah, like they jumped ship from Steam.
Yeah. Well, they jumped ship with Steam like way before that when they created the Uplay thing. but now people who buy their games on Uplay now have to have Steam in order to launch it. So it's like now you have to deal with the double floodgates from the hellstorm in order to play your goddamn games. Which is why I think I'm deciding now that I'm just gonna start buying Ubisoft games on consoles now, because then all I have to do is sign into my Uplay account, and then that's it. I don't have to launch 2 goddamn programs to play fucking Far Cry.
Yeah.
But no, the moment I started noticing that things were a bit odd with them was like 2 weeks before Rayman Legends came out on the Wii U, they delayed it and said, "Oh yeah, we're gonna release this on all the other platforms now." And the the executive director, like the creator of Rayman, was like, "Yeah, I'm sorry about this. I don't know what the hell they're doing, but we'll have it out and we'll make sure that this is the best product." And sure enough, the game came out. It was really good, but honestly, it really just deserves to be on Wii U only, because like that's also the thing with Bayonetta 2 as well, is that Platinum Games has gone through development, like gone through executive hell and back, like when Capcom like closed Clover Studios and took the rights for Okami, and then they formed Platinum Games, and their Nintendo stuff or their Sega stuff wasn't selling well either because of like Mad World and everything. Those games weren't selling well, so now they're just publishing under Nintendo, and it seems as though it's working out really well for them, because they seem to have a lot of creative entity now. Like, Bayonetta 2 it looks insane. Like, the demo I played, it seems to push the limits of the Wii U to like, just close enough where it doesn't directly affect the gameplay. So, either way, Ubisoft, start keeping in mind that if you keep making mistakes like this, people aren't going to trust you, and they're already not trusting you. So, the best thing to do is wait a little bit, and don't give a release date for a game until you're absolutely sure that the game is ready. Keep in mind that a lot of games that people are expecting, expect the game to be out when you say it's out. And it annoys a lot of people when developers don't follow through on their promise and release it late.
Yep.
So, Ubisoft, you really need to be just careful from now on. Otherwise, people are just not gonna buy your products with the same trust that they used to. Yeah, I already read that before.
Okay, good. Whatever.
Notes. Email Ubisoft support.
Profit.
Okay, moving on. Okay, so as I explained before, the Humble Sega Bundle released yesterday, and I actually grabbed it really early, so I grabbed the bundle for like $4.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Except,
so let me check out what it is right now.
The average one I checked was
currently it's actually still $4. It's actually still $4.
Yeah, I think you picked it up when it was high, because when I checked it yesterday it was like 3 something.
I picked it up for like $3.50.
Oh yeah, that's good.
So it's gone up a little bit. Anyways, for a whole $4, if you want to balance that out, you can get the Dreamcast collection, which comes with Sonic Adventure Director's Cut, Sega Bass Fishing, Space Channel 5 Part 2, and Crazy Taxi. You can also pick up Nights into Dreams, Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed, the Caesar and Gaul DLC add-on for Total War Rome 2, the Miles Tactic DLC for Football Manager 2015, Empire Total War, Company of Heroes 2, Oba Commando West, which is the standalone for Company of Heroes 2. If you pay $12 or more, you'll get Total War Shogun 2 Fall of the Samurai, which I think is a standalone. Yeah. And if you pay $50 or more, you get an exclusive fan gamer designed Dreamcast t-shirt, which actually looks really cool. But $50 for a t-shirt, no.
Yeah, no, I'll stick to Yeti.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I actually got my t-shirts in yesterday. So I got some really nice shirts. I got like a Tingle shirt. I also got Gangplank from League.
I need to get you back in the league.
Yeah, everybody says that.
I'm gonna do
And
it.
I also got a
It's fun.
I also got a Nino Kuni. I also got a Nino Kuni t-shirt.
You didn't even know it was Nino Cooney. You like took it to Twitter and people told you.
No, I actually found out like before people told me,
Um,
because like I had a slight glimpse that it looked like something from Studio Ghibli, but I just didn't know that it was Nino Kuni because I've never played Nino Kuni,
mhm.
but I was kind of familiar with the characters, so I knew it was Nino Kuni, but just very faintly knew. Moving on. The autumn sale for Steam is now up, so you too can look into the Steam library or the Steam store and find sales for games of up to 80% off.
So if you're
Uh,
lucky, Game Newell will raise down from his seat and give you what you want.
Yes, actually, he is raising down and giving you what you want because the sale's up right now.
Yes.
And
Well, no,
you can
they haven't gotten what they wanted yet. They still want Half-Life 3. Remember?
yeah. It's actually almost 10 years since Half-Life 2.
So Half-Life 3
And it
confirmed.
seems to be
Got it.
and it seems to be a trend that every single Half-Life game comes out every 10 years, but I'm not going to be a conspirator and just be like, okay, it's coming out in 2016, guys. Don't worry. It's coming out soon. I promise. I'm just going to be like, okay, well, when it's out, and people probably won't like it as much because
hyped,
they've
yeah.
waited way too damn long. Email, Ubisoft support, profit, Half-Life 3 confirmed. What I'm experiencing is basically like the prankster in high school that draws on the whiteboard in Sharpie like a penis and then uses like an actual whiteboard marker to draw like a cat out of the penis so that when the teacher erases the cat, it leaves the penis. This is exactly what I'm seeing, except not as extreme and disgusting.
Hey, I try.
Yes, I know you do. Moving on.
Moving on to the.
Okay, everything I'm talking about is actually stuff that I can talk about.
I know. I'll just leave the podcast. Bye, guys.
You can actually talk about the last one. I'm sorry.
That's fun.
Okay, so although everybody isn't really anticipating this, except for the Destiny fans, the first expansion for Destiny, called the Dark Below, got a trailer featuring DJ or Dr. Crispy 93, which I think is a very fluent Destiny YouTuber, or at least I think so. I'm not entirely sure, but they released a very satirical trailer that kind of pokes fun at everything. They actually make a joke about one of the new exotics that you get called the Dragon Breath, which is a rocket launcher that when it explodes, it leaves behind a fireball that like lingers and deals damage over time. And he makes a joke about like I didn't I didn't get this by spending a few hours at a loot cave. Well, not this. Other things, yeah, but not this. And they were poking fun at the when the game first came out. There was this infamous thing called the loot cave in the Skywatch of like the first area of the game, where if you just stood in one spot and shot into a cave, then you would get this cave full of just loot drops, and people would spend like 5, 10, 20, 40 hours just shooting into this cave getting loot drops. And it was basically like the ultimate cheese for getting really rare gear easily. And Bungie patched it out along with another loot cave, like in the course of a month, and they've been poking fun at it since, which is a really good thing. I actually appreciate the fact that Bungie isn't like, okay, we're gonna ban people who do all this. They're like, okay, you guys get to keep your stuff, but don't do it again. And if you do it again, then we won't ban you or anything. But just moving on. Anyways. The trailer is pretty good. It explains, it shows off a little bit of the new raid, some of the new areas of the game, and some of the new exotic and rare gear you can get in the game. Especially, hive-oriented weaponry, because the first raid gave you Vex-oriented weaponry, which is like a robotic kind of bionicle kind of enemy, but this is hive, which are like alien zombies, and it looks like good fun. I don't know if I'm gonna spend $40 to get both expansions, but I might because I have to review them. All right, I guess next up is the Dark Souls 2 re-release.
I'll just stay quiet while you talk about it. I'll try to input.
Okay.
I'm not too fluent into Dark Souls, so.
Yeah. Okay, so for fans of Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 2 released last March, and just a couple of days ago, they revealed that Dark Souls 2 is going to be getting a re-release on the Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC. The PC part I'll get to later, but the Dark Souls 2 re-release is going to be called Scholar of the First Sin. It will come with a new updated storyline, all 3 DLC that were released for Dark Souls 2 so far, and it will also include an updated multiplayer, which will allow for 6-player mode, where the original was like 4-player. You know, you could have 2 invaders, you could have up to like 3 summons, I should say. You could have up to 3 invaders, or one spirit and 2 dark spirits. You know, but it basically they're improving it to have 6-player mode, and it's also going to have updated graphics and everything. And also they plan on having possibly new DLC alongside this one. And it's coming out in March, so exactly 1 year after the first Dark Souls 2 came out.
Day?
I think it's going to be relatively close, March 26th, which is like a week after. But this is the month before Bloodborne comes out. So it looks like it's going to be a good time to have a PS4 if you're a fan of Dark Souls. Because now you get to enjoy having a brand new version of Dark Souls 2 with potentially improved gameplay and everything, and then you're going to experience the brand new IP from the director of Demon's Souls, Bloodborne. So you get 2 brutally difficult games from Software. And that's good news for a fan of that game like me.
Yes. Are you done?
It says...
Oh, God, what the...
Oh, it says
God.
April. Really?
Okay, I'm good.
Okay, apparently... Oh, yeah, by the way, the PC version of Dark Souls Scholar of the First Sin is, it is going to come with all the DLC and everything, which I think is going to alienate some of the people who bought the original Dark Souls 2. But it is going to have improved graphics and performance, and will run on DirectX 11, which will drastically improve loading times and everything. So that's going to be good. It does say April, so I'm guessing it's coming out in either the same month or the month before Dark Souls 2, or the same month as Bloodborne. So
yeah,
get ready for April, everybody. Okay, moving on. Finally, some news from Quill.
I just recently listened to this. I think it's happened a week or 2 ago. But G4 is now shutting down. I believe they were bought out recently. Yeah, while you're looking
I will look this up. But I don't really mind the fact that G4 is shutting down, because one of the greatest minds of G4, especially Adam Sessler, they've already moved on and kind of done their own thing and created their own identity. So
Meanwhile,
G4 kind of doesn't have much left.
Doing what the fuck ever. Olivia Munn.
What? Oh yeah, she actually does. She actually.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Works on the Daily Show. Yeah.
I guess we can reminisce about G4. I remember, most of my days after school, I would come on, see that, Ninja Warrior would be on, or some crazy Japanese show, and just watch that for hours. It was like my getaway from gaming. And did I DC? Nope. Okay, you just weren't talking.
No, you're
kind of
fine.
freaked me out for a second, because you...
Yeah, I'm reading up on the...
Well,
I'm reading up
now
on this.
now.
Actually, G4 is ending
wow,
on
so
the
it's 4 days
30th
from
of
now.
this month.
So is it by the time
Yeah.
this goes up? No, it's after when this goes up, G4 will be shut down. So say your goodbyes.
RIP G4, you were only good for the Japanese English dub stuff.
Most of the
You
stuff
know, like
they
Unbeatable
have just kind
Banzuke.
of moved on to different networks. So
Well, I mean, especially Ninja Warrior and Unbeatable Banzuke. Like, Unbeatable Banzuke didn't really catch on as much as Ninja Warrior did. But the thing is that, oddly enough, the reason why Ninja Warrior is over here is because a lot of North American competitors joined the Ninja Warrior series in Japan, so they just created a new division for North America.
yeah, I get that. I figured that would happen at some point.
Yeah, it seems as though G4 is just not able to be it's just not able to stay in the current cable and satellite lineup with other channels without having some sort of backfire. So that is fairly sad to see it go, but at least we have this going for us that uh that at least G4 kind of helped us grow up into gaming if you had it available to you. In fact, a lot of my inspiration for reviewing came from the fact that XPlay had reviews from Adam Sessler, who was he was a very I can't say flamboyant without it sounding weird, but he was a very open-minded reviewer, and he kind of had that perspective-based review that not a lot of reviewers have nowadays. A lot of them are cynical and closed-minded because it's just one genre. Why is this one genre not doing this specific genre right? He looked at it from multiple perspectives. So I actually frequently watch his soapboxes whenever they come on. So it's always a good time. But G4, you will be missed, but in the era of online becoming more dominant over TV, you probably should have gone and just made your own website and just started doing all your stuff on the internet. You probably will, actually. Yeah. Actually, I have a funny story about G4. Okay, so this was before I got my current YouTube account, Replay Thai Heretic. Before I went as Replay Thai 13. But way back in 2008, I uploaded the entire XPlay special of Halo 3 ODST, where they kind of showed off all the gameplay and had interviews and stuff. And I got a copyright notice from XPlay, and I wrote a full-on apology to them. And I was like, okay, I'll remove it. Don't worry about removing the strike and everything, which was a bad move on my part. But I actually got a response from Sessler. So, yeah, it was a fairly nice thing. But that's why I moved on to Replay Thai Heretic, because I needed a fresh start, and I also needed to have the 15-minute limit removed. So, yeah. Anyways,
all the news.
Moving on. I believe that is all the news. So let's talk about our final subject for the day.
Since we don't have questions, we will just recommend what we've been seeing lately. I guess, yeah.
On YouTube and everything. And what a better way to close off this that in 2 minutes the next Terraria Hardcore episode will be up.
I forget it's uploaded every Wednesday and Saturday.
Oh, good.
So when
every
we
Wednesday
end this,
and Saturday
we'll
at 2
something
p.m.
to watch. That's crazy. But
yeah.
I guess
we'll watch it together because that's the bro code.
No. Anyway, no.
Nope.
I guess if you guys are interested in Terraria Hardcore, the second season of that is going on at PBG Gameplay. If you're interested in going over there and seeing that, there's also a bunch of different hardcores brought to you by Peanut Butter Gamer and his friends. We've both been watching as well Game Grumps, and I myself have just been rewatching some Let's Plays from Sugar Conroy, the Runaway Guys, and some older guys like Angry Poncho and GNR Fan.
Yeah. Basically, my main obsession right now is that I frequently watch a lot of PBG stuff. Like sometimes when I just have nothing else to watch, I'll put on the playlist. It's usually like the Diablo 2 hardcore because that's like the most enthralling one to me. But outside of that, I've been watching Xbox Ahoy, which most of you people will be familiar with if you know him most well for his weapon analysis videos for Call of Duty and Titanfall. But the reason why I've been watching him is that just last week, Monday through Friday, he released a 5-part series on the evolution of graphics in games. And it's like an hour long in total, and it's worth every minute just to watch it because it explains like the evolution of graphics from the pixel graphics to the final throes of pixel gameplay, which we see dot matrix stuff, especially with games like Metal Slug. We just see a lot of just the evolution from here to then, and I think it's a phenomenal series. He also does various videos on the history of gore, and also weapon history in games. He has a lot of just content that you would enjoy if you are a fan of just learning about games. And along with this, speaking of learning about games, another channel I watch is My Life in Gaming, which I think I've linked before in Blaze Kick. It's particularly just two guys from the Backloggery, which is a website that I frequent for. It's a website that I frequent because it has all my games in a collection list that I can just mark off as beaten and everything. So it's a really easy way to manage stuff.
That person's holding them hostage.
Anyways, and the My Life in Gaming channel is done by two people, Curry Carlson and a person by the name of Triforce. Both are on Backloggery. They very frequently are on Backloggery. And they just talk about their life in their life from the perspective of the games that they played as kids. So like they explain the history behind Rygar and Gradius 5, and they most recently got a very huge hit in popularity because they explained how they have such amazing gameplay recordings, and they go into explanation about how they found out like the best way to record all this stuff. So they not only are really well versed in just the gameplay history of their lives, but they're also very well versed in just technological aspects, like the absolute limits that consoles can record in, like what's their highest resolution possible, and what can we do to make it the best available quality, especially for new TVs that just can't support stuff like that anymore. And I'd say that it's a very good channel to watch if you're into just listening to stories. The last one, actually two, I guess I can say. Two of them are kind of similar, but one of them is more traditional Let's Play. One channel is called the D-Pad, which I brought up earlier. The D-Pad is like a group of 5 or 6 people, and they all just play games together and everything. It's kind of like a podcasty style. one of them, actually two of them are currently doing Nuzlocks of games. When the channel first started, they did Fire Red, and one of them was gonna do Leaf Green, but they got too far behind and everything, so they just stopped, and they're gonna start it again soon. But the reason why I watched them is because they did the Pokemon X Nuzlocke, or Rifle Lock as they call it, which is as you remember, the kind of Nuzlocke that Zoe and I are doing. Every gym we fight to find out. They fight and whoever wins goes first in the next section of the game. But they're just really good commentators, and they seem like they have fun with the games. They are currently doing like 5 games at once right now. They're doing Hyrule Warriors, Zelda Four Swords Adventures, Minish Cap, and they're currently doing Smash for Wii U. And finally, they just started their Omega Ruby Nuzlocke. So, that's something that everybody should enjoy. They have plenty of content for everybody to enjoy. And the last one I have is Headache Heroes. Now, Quill, I think I've explained these guys to you before. Headache Heroes.
I don't think I've heard of them.
Headache Heroes? Headache Heroes is a channel where 2 friends challenge each other to these really stupid challenges in video games. And some of them are actually fan submitted, like they have people submit challenges to them that they like. And I submitted a challenge to them a while ago, but they do a lot of these crazy challenges. Like one of them was let's see here. One of them was actually a Tokyo Jungle challenge, and they had to play as the weakest animals that you could possibly play as, which were chicks, and they had to kill 5 enemies as the chicks, and you can die in like 1 hit. But the other one was I think the other one was well, they have plenty of challenges actually. Just go and find them, and you'll probably find a challenge you like. See here, I can find one. Yeah, they did a challenge where anytime they kill an enemy, they have to throw up on them in Metal Gear Solid 3. Because there's this thing where if you're in the viewer, you can spin around Snake in the viewer, and after doing it for like 10 or 15 seconds, he'll throw up. So you have to like kill an enemy, or you have to like dispatch an enemy, and then you have to spin the viewer around for 15 seconds, throw up on them, and then run away. So it's great. But they have plenty of challenges that everyone should enjoy, and they're very up to date. Like they do a challenge every 1 to 2 days. And so go and check them out if you want. They're pretty cool guys. They have an odd humor style, but
Yeah,
you can easily get past that, probably. Yeah. One of the challenges I would recommend is the Grand Theft Auto 3 climb a building challenge, which was pretty funny because it was just glitched to all hell. It was pretty funny, but anyways. Yes, actually, I'll shoot this one out really quickly because I just recently found them and I was like, oh, I'll watch it just because I'm bored. Dude Perfect. Dude Perfect is a YouTube channel where just 4 guys who are clearly like frat bros. They just do these videos where they just do non-stop trick shots with random stuff like frisbees and basketballs.
I guess I can throw one
pretty
more
good.
in.
Pretty good time.
I've been watching.
That's
I've been
it.
watching their Go. I've been watching their Go series. I haven't been watching their Let's
Of
Plays,
course,
just
who
their
doesn't?
Go series,
Who doesn't
I
watch
find
Rooster
entertaining.
Teeth?
Yes, Versus as well.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Go is pretty good. Also, Versus.
Yep, we're down here. If you want to go check us both out, go check our
Anyway, I think that's
channels down below. Otherwise, you can go watch some of our Let's Plays that we will be getting back to at some point.
Yes, so by all means, feel free to just watch the first couple of episodes.
Yes.
The overall quality will improve over time, we promise. But I just had to
That's
figure
good,
out
and
how to
I've
work
just
out the
gotta
issues. I think I finally got
focus
something
on
though.
school at the moment,
But,
and then we'll hopefully get back into recording at some point. A recording that does not fail on us. Risk of rain, I'm looking at you.
Yes. Yes, that's
Yes,
yes.
but yes.
But yes. Feel free to follow us on Twitter. That's also in the description.
Yeah.
We should probably add in the Lukewarm Gaming Twitter into the descriptions. But anytime a new video comes up, we should get right back on schedule really quickly.
I believe.
So get ready for
One every 2 days. All right, we're gonna
every
end here.
one every 2 days.
Next week, probably on Thursday, we will record, but it will be up on Tuesday. It was off by a couple hours due to scheduling errors and YouTube not processing my video correctly. But it should be on time, 5 o'clock p.m. Central Time on Tuesday, December the 2nd, I believe, is when this episode's going to be up. So if it's not up on December 2nd, blame Quill.
Okay. Yes, Quill is the current editor of these casts,
we'll
and
see
I
you
have
guys
nothing
next
to do
time.
with them. I just send him audio.
Yes. All my fault.
It's his
The
fault.
spreadsheet's also my fault. My bad. I look back at it. What did I do?
Obligatory,
I'll see you guys next
obligatory
week.
screen cap right here. What are we doing with our lives?